We did a 5-day houseboat rental on Lake Powell from Wahweap Marina near Page, Arizona. It was really fabulous. We were able to take our dogs and they had a blast too. So when I was researching this trip, I couldn't find a lot of information about the actual process of renting a houseboat and what the boat would look like. That's why I made this video. I'll show you the rental process, a walkthrough of the houseboat, and also a how-to presentation from the marina staff. Hopefully this will help you plan your fabulous Lake Powell vacation. So our trip started at the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area, Wahweap's south entrance, just outside of Page, Arizona. You have to pay an entrance fee when you enter. And our trip was in June 2026, so these rates are from then. And then there are a few overlooks on the way from the Wahweap entrance down to the marina. Here you can see a houseboat leaving the marina. That'll be us pretty soon. And you can also see the Glen Canyon Dam off in the distance. So this is the marina where you'll rent your houseboat. The main building straight ahead is where the rental office is, and to the right are the rental houseboats. There's a small parking area for loading and unloading your supplies, but for longer term parking while you're on your houseboat, you park in one of the several parking areas just above this. And they have hand carts available for free that you can use, but they are small and they don't hold much. You can also ask one of the staff to take your things down to your houseboat using one of their ATVs with trailers. There's no fee, but it's customary to give them a tip. This is the main Wahweap Marina area for boat rentals. On the left ahead is the office, and on the right is a small store. So most houseboat rentals start at 9 a.m., but the office opens at 8 a.m., so get there early if you can. And you'll get two options for insurance coverage for the houseboat. You can either leave a deposit, which would have been $600 for the 46-foot Expedition, which was our houseboat, but we opted for the waiver of liability, which was $75 per day. And then once that's done, it's on to get our houseboat. We rented the smallest houseboat available, as it was just us and another couple. But they also have larger sizes that are available to rent. There's a small store next to the rental office, and here they have things like sunglasses, hats, t-shirts, snack food, ice, and beer. They sell blocks of ice and bags of ice as well. It's more expensive here than in Page, but it's a good option if you need anything. There's also a bathroom there if you need that. So now onto our houseboat. That's ours right there, the first one. I'll give you a little tour so you can know what to expect. So this is the front deck area. It's small, but comes with a big cooler, a trash can, propane grill, and there are also plastic chairs and life vests. And there's also this handy hose that pulls water from the lake where you can wash off your feet or whatever. It came in useful when we had our 3 dogs. And then when you enter the front door of the houseboat, you'll get this layout. I took this video when we were packing up on our last day, so I'm sorry it's a bit of a mess. Anyway, to the right is a dinette booth that can also double as a bed. To the left is the helm for steering of the houseboat. Then there is this long couch, which opens up into a bed that fits tall adults comfortably. And we found that there's a surprisingly good amount of cabinet space on the houseboat. And the kitchen was also quite big. It was bigger than we expected. There's basically a full-size refrigerator. We expected it to be smaller, so that was a nice surprise. And then the sink in the kitchen and in the bathroom out of the main faucet all use water pulled directly from the lake. So don't drink that. We brought bleach with us to sanitize the dishes. But this little faucet on the left is for water pulled from the freshwater tank of the houseboat. We still brought water with ourselves to drink and cook with. Then there are a bunch of appliances. There's a can opener, toaster, blender, coffee bean grinder, and coffee maker. There's a full-size stove, oven, and microwave. There is a bunch of cabinets in the kitchen with lots of storage and plastic cups, plates, cooking utensils, pots and pans, and basically everything you need except food to cook. Plan to bring your own spices and cooking oils and the like, as those aren't provided. But overall, the kitchen met our purposes really well. No. Oh, ice. Guess we're gonna leave all that ice in the freezer. our boat, the 46-foot Expedition, the smallest houseboat rental that you do at Wahweap, there's only one stateroom or bedroom. It's pretty small, and it really only has one cabinet for storage. So sorry, I'm taking this video while the boat is moving. It's a little shaky. We're checking out today, so everything's a bit of a mess. And then across the hall is the bathroom. Again, it's messy as we're packing up to leave. There's a shower with shampoo and stuff provided. And now if you want hot water, you have to remember to go to the panel across the hall and turn on the hot water. We didn't realize that and took a cold shower the first time. But turn this little button on, turns red, and it just heats up the water for you. So in the bathroom, there's a sink and an RV-style toilet with a pedal. Towels are provided up above. And there's a freshwater faucet like the kitchen for brushing your teeth. Otherwise, all the water is from the lake, and that includes the shower water, which is fine. You just don't want to drink it. Now onto the back deck area. There's storage space for keeping things like paddle boards. The AC unit is out here. Slide is here. And then the stairs up to the back deck area are a bit steep. One of our dogs had trouble with it, but most people should be fine. And then the top deck area was my favorite part. It's partially shaded and there are a few chairs and lounge chairs. We ended up spending a lot of time up here. So this is from when we were docked in Gunsight Canyon. You can see the views are pretty spectacular. And there's also a slide which we had fun going off of. There's a switch to turn on water on the slide so you can zip right down into Lake Powell. You can also take in the view of Lake Powell from the top deck when you're cruising the lake, and it provides an awesome vantage point. So that's the boat layout tour. Next, I'm going to let you listen to one of the Wahweap Marina staff do a walkthrough of how the houseboat operates. We recorded it in case we needed it, and it was really helpful. So here you go.
So you guys ideally are going to find a beach just like that one over there, where all that green is, steep and sandy. You're going to come up nice and slow, have somebody out the back keeping an eye on how deep it is. If they can see the bottom from the back, it's not deep enough. You're going to not be able to see the bottom. Come on nice slow, touch down, put the throttles down, have it pushing you up on the beach. Somebody staying at the helm to make sure the boat's not rearing off or anything like that. You're going to take this anchor, that anchor, 45-degree angles, 3 feet deep in the ground. Make sure the teeth on those anchors are facing the boat. And gaining about 1.5 inches of water every day. So maybe about 3 days into your trip.
That's good.
Yeah, just 3 days into your trip. Move the boat up a little bit, tighten up those ropes.
Okay.
Any questions? Yeah, 45-degree angles out from the back of the boat.
45.
45 from the back of the boat.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's already tied to the back leads. You want to sign some paperwork?
Yes.
When you guys are ready to get out of here, first thing you're going to do is turn off the AC right here. Turn that off.
Okay.
Then you're going to disconnect yourself from the yellow short power cord up front. And then I'm just going to go ahead and switch this off. This panel's going to go off. This one's still on. This is your inverter. So we're on our inverter now. We're using pretty much enough power to keep our refrigerator and our water running. So fan, stove, galley, these are just not essential.
Okay, we just turn them off unless we're using them.
We're about to turn on your generator, so I'm going to turn these off too so I don't trip it. Alright, scenario, you guys are on that bass boat all day, having a great time fishing. You come back at the end of the day, you want your fridge to be cold. If the inverter is not charged, then it's not going to be cold when you come back.
Okay.
In order to keep your inverter charged, you're either on shore power or generator. We're not on shore power anymore, so we're going to rely on the generator to charge our inverter.
Okay.
You have to run the gen at least 8 hours a day to keep it charged.
Will it come on automatically?
No.
Okay, so you got to turn it on every time.
To turn it on, we're going to have the blower on for 5 minutes. That gets all the hot gas out of the gen room. Just make sure it's nice and fresh. Please remember to turn that off after 5 minutes. If you leave it on, it's a really big battery suck, and you guys will be left with nothing out there.
Okay.
All right. Then we're going to hold stop for 5 seconds. That's going to prime it. And then we'll press start. There you go. And we'll switch this over, and then we can start turning things on.
Okay.
So like I said, 8 hours a day to keep that charged. This will switch in a second. It's just finding it to charging.
Okay. Does it have a battery like
Status.
Status?
Like
It
power
just say
status.
right here, low battery.
Oh, okay. It doesn't have a gauge or anything.
No.
It shows where the charge on the battery is. Right?
No, yeah. If it goes down to...
So if we're out all day, we should just leave the generator on and let it charge it.
It depends on you. So like, let's say you guys are using the generator to run like the microwave and the stovetop. You switch it over, and you're using the gen to charge it, to like use that for cooking, and then using it to charge your inverter. But let's say you're using the grill all day. You're not using any of the appliances inside. You know, the grill's propane. You could use it for like 8 hours of AC at night.
Okay.
Whatever way you want to do it.
Or we'll run the refrigerator, we'll run off the batteries, and then when we come back, just charge it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, so the refrigerator does go off the battery.
It goes off the inverter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inverter and generator. So yeah, you just have to
So
make
just
sure
turn everything off except for the refrigerator. It should last all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you just have to run the gen at least 8 hours at some point each day, whether it be at night or during meal times or whatever.
Okay.
Just charging. All right. This is what it should look like when you guys are underway.
Okay.
Great. All right. To turn it off, you're gonna go bam. Press stop.
Okay.
Switch back to the inverter. I'll put you back on shore power just so you guys are nice and comfy.
Yeah.
And I turned off the AC from there first, then off here. It's going on here, then on there. Think of it like a link. You don't want to break.
Right.
Great. Awesome. Now, my whole thing here is I'm going to show you things. I'm also going to show you how to protect yourself too.
Okay.
All right. This face right here, the bottom left, this black face right there, it's on this side. If you try to turn this on from the breaker and it doesn't come on, you're going to come to the bottom right side of that square face.
Okay.
There's going to be a vertical switch. You're going to turn that switch off for a minute, then turn it back on. That's your reconnect. You'll be reconnecting the signal to your
Oh, I see it under the knob.
the vertical one, yeah, under the knob. If that reconnect doesn't work, you're going to go to the horizontal one to the left of it.
Okay.
That's your manual. Hold stop for 5 seconds, press start, it'll come on.
Okay.
Right? Right behind that, right here, with a red trip switch. Got too much going on, AC, stovetop, microwave. You trip it, go to your breaker, turn some stuff off, come here, turn it back on, reassess.
Okay.
Cool. This is boat X15.
Yeah.
Wahweap Marina's X15. Can I get a radio check, please?
X15, loud and clear.
Thank you. Great. That's us right there. If you have any questions, problems, you want to holler at a mechanic, right there, channel 1.
Okay.
You go up one channel to channel 2, Marine 16. That's National Park Service. Any emergencies, you contact them.
Okay.
Go back down. That's us. Down again.
7 to 63.
To the weather. Listed for Glen Canyon, that's our park here. There's other parks on there that listed for Glen Canyon to know your weather report. Right?
Okay.
To turn this thing on, you're going to go 1, 2. Hold here where my finger is right now at the bottom for these to go solid. If one of them's not solid or blinking, it's because it's not neutral. Make sure it's in neutral.
Okay.
Keep an eye on the RPMs just so we know that everything came on. There you go. Everything's on, everything looks great, fuel levels are topped up. Awesome. Horn, let us know when you're leaving. Give us 1 long, 3 short. Can't remember that, just hit it. So, this is the lake as it lies right now. North is that way, the dam, we are right here, the dam is over there. Got a marina right here, another marina there. When you guys are going through these marinas, go 20 RPMs and below, no wake speed.
Okay.
Going downstream towards the dam, all of your green buoys are on your right, all of your red buoys are on your left.
Okay.
You hit the dam, start going upstream. All of your red buoys are on your right, all of your green are on your left. It's gonna switch.
Okay.
And then finally, we're off. We're leaving the marina and heading to Gunsight Canyon, where we plan to anchor for a few days. And we didn't have any prior experiences driving a houseboat and did just fine. So as you leave the marina, you'll pass the gas filling area. Your houseboat will already be filled up with gas, so you don't need to stop on your way out, but you will need to fill it up on the way back. Then after you leave the Wahweap rental marina area, you'll pass by an area with other houseboats that are privately owned. And then we're going to head into a tighter channel area, and we get passed by a tour boat. It's had a pretty big wake. And then next we pass through the Antelope Point Marina, where there are bigger rental boats and some timeshare houseboats, along with some pretty spectacular privately owned houseboats. Once we're through Antelope Point Marina, we're just taking in the scenery, heading to Gunsight Canyon. It was a couple of hours. And when we found a spot to park at, we had to set up our anchors. And there are a bunch of wave runner boats like this one that create a lot of waves. So the further away from the main areas you can be, the better for staying anchored securely. There are 2 anchors on the houseboat. You have to dig holes to securely anchor the boat, and the houseboat provides a shovel to do that.
And then the rest of it just gets wrapped up and it goes up.
The hole you gotta dig.
That's not even that big of a hole. We're supposed to dig 3 foot. But we did all right.
Then, after several fun-filled days on Lake Powell, we sadly had to head back to Wahweap Marina to return our houseboat. And then that's the State Line boat ramp where you can launch privately owned boats. And as Lake Powell's water level has been decreasing, finding accessible boat ramps is getting harder. State Line was open in June 2026 when we were there. And then once back at Wahweap Marina, we headed to the gas filling area where an attendant helped tie up our houseboat and fill our tanks. So I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to drop any comments or questions you may have about our rental experience, and I'll do my best to answer them. So thanks for watching.